Richard Fixmake here. I'm making a super simple bike rack to declutter my garage. So let's get into it. Things you'll need to make this bike rack are some 2x4, some hooks, you can get these from Amazon, some wall plugs, and then some screws, probably 60mm screws or 80mm screws, an SDS drill preferably if you're fixing this to a masonry wall, a drill to drill the 2x4 and a driver. Before you click away, I'm using these hooks. They're pretty malleable in that you can bend them to fit the size of wheel that you have, and they're easy to screw in. There are lots of other options you could go for with a bike rack. I'm going for the simplest, cheapest option I can do that will solve my problem, get my bikes off the floor and let me get on making projects. First thing to do is to clear a space. I want it against the wall there to the left of my shelves, so I need to be able to get at it. Now, depending on the bikes that you have, you might want to consider different heights. I've also got the rail above me from the garage door, which is going to prove a bit limiting. But this is how I envisaged it. I just dropped it into Photoshop and hung the bikes up. And the gap between the bikes is probably going to be an issue, but I came up with a thought for that, which you'll see in a minute. Now the heights I'm going to settle with are those, but you can put them at any height. This is really customizable depending on the space that you have. I'm just using normal 2x4s here, and to give me the most flexibility, I decided to just measure, mark the centers, and then measure every 10 centimeters and drill a hole, a 6mm hole every 10 centimeters. And at this point, they were just straight through. But I had another idea while I was making this, and you'll see in a second. I painted it white just so it blends better with the walls, but you could paint yours any colour. Use a masonry bit to drill into the blockwork, 7mm, and wall plugs, 2 at each end, screws, probably 80mm, 60mm if you have them. And I thought I would try an angled hook, and you'll see why in a bit. So re-drilled all the holes all the way along the 2x4 at roughly the same angle. If you have the bikes sitting on the floor rather than hanging off, then it'll help for another reason. I thought I'd try hanging a bike up, and the lower hooks work really well when they're angled. It's easy to get them in and out, which I was really happy with. But what I realized with the top rail, even with the angled holes, is that the 2x4 actually gets in the way, the lower one gets in the way. It's not that easy to get the bike on and off. So not ideal, probably would move the lower rail down a bit. But I'd seen this somewhere else where they use 2 hooks, and actually it's quite nice, and if you do have the bike on the floor, then it can help stop the wheel sag, which can be a thing with this style of rack. Then I just thought, well, I've got these hooks, I can hang just about anything I want. So if I get more hooks, another pack, I could hang up all sorts of things in between the bikes. So I'm going to keep the top rail because I think I'll use it and it'll be adaptable to grow as things change over time. Well, the bike rack's done and I really like it. It's organised my garage. It's got things off the floor. Well, it's started to organise my garage, and I'm going to be making more videos about more organisation within here fairly soon. I've done a free PDF that gives you all of the details of this build, what materials you need, the tools you need, things I'd recommend, and the heights and sizes and widths that I've talked through in this video. So if you just go to my website, fixmake.com, you'll find a link there and a blog post explaining all the steps for you to follow. Things I would probably do differently, maybe change the heights of these, but that's down to you. If you want your bikes to sit on the floor, then you'll need to drop this down a bit further. If you don't want to have to lift the bikes up, then just bring this down 10, 15 centimeters and your bikes will rest on the floor and you won't have to lift them up. But I chose to put them a bit higher because I like that. I've made this in a weekend and it fits the bill. There are lots of other variations, and if I had a big budget, I would probably have one of those sliding bike racks that pushed all the bikes out of the way, but I don't, and this is the build I came up with. Have you built something like this in the past, or are you about to embark on it? I try and pick up all the comments and reply to all the comments that I get on my videos. So if you want to write something below about how you think it could work for you or what ways you could adapt this, that's why I like this bike rack, because I know this will change and build or morph over time. It'll probably have other things. It's not just for bikes. So that is really why I wanted to do it like this. And if you got a lot of value from this, you could buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description below. I love a flat white. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out my other videos on my channel. Lots of playlists to look at, really helpful stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Go on. Come on. You still here? Well, here's some of the outtakes. If you've got any comments about this build, or you've built about, but if you want to hang more things, then